welcome to another episode of Tenacity with Sonia C., the podcast where innovation meets expertise. I'm your host, Sonia. Our guest today is a shining example of what it means to embody unwavering determination and grit in the world of business. She's a true powerhouse who has walked the hard path to success. Joining us today is Jian Omnor, a name known for resilience, entrepreneurship, and a relentless pursuit of dreams. In this episode, we'll dive into Jian's journey where hard work and dedication paved the way for remarkable achievements. We'll uncover the raw, unfiltered truth about what it takes to build a thriving business. Whether you're an inspiring entrepreneur seeking motivation or a seasoned business owner looking for fresh insights, this episode is for you. Prepare to be inspired, challenged, and uplifted as we learn from one of the best. So, buckle up for an enlightening conversation that's sure to inspire and inform. Let's get started. Welcome, Jian. Today we're here and I'm really excited to have a chat with you.
Thank you. Lovely to be here, Sonia.
So let's get right into it. At 54, you were a solo parent in deep debt, and you got yourself to 1 million in 17 months and have taken your online uh, coaching business to seven figures. Can you
Mhm.
walk us through that journey?
Absolutely. Okay, so as you correctly said, I had gotten myself into a spot and, ups and downs, but I was at the spot of being in deep debt after a life transition and becoming, well, I was solo before that, but then the actual divorce happened. Okay. And everything was drained out of my life as far as money. We moved and I was taking care of my kids, and the market where I moved to was not a good market for offline marketing because I had been a coach for 13 years. And I always got, enough clients in New York City, and then that wasn't happening. So I woke up one morning and I thought, okay, I'm in deep debt. This is not working. This offline thing isn't working. It's not going to work here. What do I do? I thought I really need to get myself online. So I knew nothing about online marketing at all.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, I got to climb that mountain. When you have a big job ahead of you.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I got to get online. So I found some marketing company that had coaching. And the funny thing is, this company was closed down by the FTC recently. So it wasn't the best company, but it was the environment in there and meeting other people that got me started. Now, I was supposed to go in, I thought, and do Facebook ads. But of course, when you first get online, you should not touch a Facebook ad. I didn't know that because my naivete was so deep about online marketing. I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to run Facebook ads. And then when I got in, they said, oh, no, you can't run Facebook ads. I said, but yet I paid you 10K to run
Mm.
Facebook ads. So what do I do? And they said, do organic marketing. And I literally said, what, like carrots? That's how much and how little I knew about marketing. And they went, no. I said, well, what is that? They said it's marketing on social media without ads. I said, but how? How can I possibly market on social media? And they said, use your personal profile. I said, okay, where are the trainings on this? And they said, there are no trainings. I said,
Mm.
uh-huh. They said, go talk to people. Go talk to people. 4 words. And I thought, well, I have to do that because now I'm in deeper debt and my kids have to eat and I need to figure this stuff out. So I started talking to people and I worked out and I cracked the code on organic marketing, meaning unpaid marketing on social media. And it exploded because people were like, how did you do that? And I was mainly on Facebook, and then I integrated LinkedIn, and I got to $1 million in 17 months with no ads, no tech, and all on my own. That was all on my own. I had like a little VA here and there, but I made $1 million all on my own
Okay, so just by having conversations?
by having conversations. It's well, it's content too. Content, it's a specific content. I mean, yes, there is a strategy of content that I just bumbled my way through. I just started posting whatever and I bumbled my way through it, and people liked what I had to say because it was just raw. I had
Mhm.
no branding. There was no branding, no marketing. I said, don't go to my website because it still had my executive recruiting blurb on it. Like I didn't have time to change it.
Right.
So I've proved to people that you can do things very, very, very simply without all the bells and the whistles and the tech and the funnels and all of that stuff. That's great when you need a bigger boat to get to the next level. That's not the first thing. It's really about talking to people in a heart-based way, in a soul-to-soul communication, talking to people, having conversations, figuring out what they need, and then presenting that. And then they say, yeah, I do want to talk to you, Jeanne Moore, and they get on a call. It's also being really normal. I was just really normal, not spammy. And they're like, wow, you're really real. So it's about
Mm,
being real, not authentic, real, bit different.
right.
Authentic's bandied around all over the place. Real, just you're a real person. Hey, this is what I do. Great. Show me some evidence. Here's all my testimonials, which you will have in the show notes. And they
Mm,
say, sure, I'm going to talk to you. I've had people say to me, one woman said, I'm going to work with you. You're the real only, she said, you're the only real coach on social media.
mm,
And I kind of knew what she meant
mhm.
because it's just like what you see is what you get. And I actually take my sales calls still, and they're like, what? You made over $3 million and you're on your sales calls? I'm like, yeah. So I don't have rules about
Mm,
like when I should have stopped turning up or why should I not reach out to people. I don't have that lack of humility. I'm just
mm.
so grateful that it worked. And sure, if you want to talk to me, yeah, I'll turn up. Why
Yeah.
not?
So for founders, entrepreneurs that are sort of starting on their journey and they're just as lost as you are, what I hear that you're saying is, just put yourself out there and be your real self
Mhm,
and talk and just start creating content based on how you feel, what you're providing, without all of the necessarily like plans around it, and just be
mhm,
like yourself.
mhm.
And that's how you got people to engage with you.
Exactly. And I never did a 30-day content plan in my entire life.
Mm,
And finally, people, oh, you have to, I know you don't. It's not of the moment. It's fresh if it's not 30 days. Finally, after 4.5 years, I'm finally seeing other coaches say, oh, you shouldn't have a 30-day plan. And I said, now they're finally understanding that it's not fresh if
mm,
you have a 30, I do schedule sometimes, but it's more like spontaneous. And I'm not saying we never plan stuff, but we certainly don't plan 30 days out content plan. It's just like, it's not fresh.
yeah.
How do I know what I'm going to say in 30 days? Things have changed. So it's really just about rawness. It's the rawness. Get out there, write any post, anything. Write
Mhm.
about, your experiences. Write about what's important to you. Write about your offer. Write about what you can't stand in the industry. Polarize. Stop being vanilla. Now, my whole thing was I was not vanilla. I came out as myself.
I
Just
love that.
how I am. Da da da. I'm pretty kind, so it's not like I'm being mean, but I don't sugarcoat stuff. However,
Mhm.
I am loving. So it's a thing of like, I think people do this extreme of you're either not sure sugarcoating it and you're like a mean coach,
Mm,
or you're just like vanilla. And people need real leadership. They need somebody to say, yes, I can help you, and this is how. And
yeah.
not namby-pamby, yeah, we're going to get you a content plan, and nobody cares about that. All they care about, especially now, is will Jeanne Amour Amlor, I said my own name wrong, will Jeanne Amlor help me make money? Yes or
Yeah.
no? Or will Jeanne Amlor help me make money while I'm creating impact, building authority, building a brand while I'm doing it, and getting that engagement? Yes. They don't care about, will Jeanne Amlor get me a 30-day content plan? Will Jeanne Amlor fix my website? Will Jeanne
Mm,
Amlor, make my branding look good? Nobody cares. If they do, they're caring about the wrong things.
mm,
Later on, sure, get some branding help. That's
yeah.
later on.
I love that. I really, really do. Okay, so facing challenges is part of any success story. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced, and how did your tenacity help you overcome them?
Okay, in business, the levels of difficulty change. New level, new devil. For instance, the devil I have now, it's very hard to get service providers to do their jobs. You
Oh,
have no control over it. You get a lot of service providers, they don't do the job. It's like, hey, when are you doing that? Hey, when's that going to happen? You have no control over it because you can't control other people. That is the largest challenge I have now because I have a lot of service providers that I pay now. That was not a challenge before because I was doing it myself. All right. And then there's other things. So the challenges change. So how do I get these service providers? How do I evaluate better? How do I, sometimes it looks great and then they just don't do the work. Like it's a thing. Before, the challenge was, how do I sustain this? I'm all on my own. How do I have the number of, reach outs, the lead gen? How do I keep those reps up? That was it. How do I, sell? How do I highlight my value? How do I get, mainly it's how do I get enough leads? It's always, and I think every business really, lead flow is your life force.
Yeah.
You don't have leads, you have nothing. And if you do have leads, then you're a much more confident salesperson. So people's main problem is lead flow. And it's a problem for all companies, whether they will admit it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always working on my lead flow because it changes, and that's just life. And if anybody says to you, oh no, we have no problems with lead flow anymore, I would question that. Really question it.
Right. So what are in like based on your experience, what are some of the common challenges that CEOs face and how do you help them navigate these?
Okay, so at the moment, actually, it's interesting you said that. I work with coaches and consultants, and they are CEOs of a smaller coaching or consulting business usually. I also have a very high-end offer for top CEOs, icons, and celebrities.
Hmm.
So, what did you say? How do I help them navigate their issues? Is that what you said?
Their challenges.
Well, that depends.
Hmm.
Depends. Most people, there is some mindset involved, and I don't mean just vague mindset. There are real concrete challenges relating to mindset, and everybody's is different.
Hmm.
After a while, you see that there's only a certain number, and you'll see
Right.
that they slot into one of those 4 or 5. Okay. After coaching thousands of people, speaking to thousands and thousands of people, and coaching hundreds and hundreds. So basically, there's always, with strategy, there's usually mindset that goes with that. So
Mhm.
my strategy is to have strategy and mindset neck and neck, strategy and mindset together, building together to a higher mindset, to a better strategy, to that working together. That's my strategy.
How do you help a CEO or one of your clients or a founder get to that mindset? Like where are they at and what do they need to do to get to that place?
That's a great question. And that depends on the person. So for instance, if somebody has a challenge with confidence,
Mhm.
then I will coach them. Or if they're in my coaching program, I have also a mindset coach. I have 5 coaches in my program.
Mhm.
So we will figure out what particularly for them. So it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's
Yeah.
what is going on that's eroding the confidence. And I will have a plan because I have a lot of different mindset strategies, techniques. I have a lot up my sleeve at this point because I'm big on mindset. So it's really getting the client to a point of confidence and finding a custom made plan for that.
Right. Do you find that a lot of times, like, is it just because they're worried or they're stressed, then they get stuck and
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know how to navigate?
yeah, 100%. I mean, we use the word stuck a lot. I don't try
Mm,
not to use the word stuck because every single coach on the planet uses the word stuck, and stuck is such a very not specific word. That's why I
mhm.
don't use it. It is, what exactly are you faced with, struggling with right this moment specifically, that is keeping you from XYZ specifically? So I
Yeah.
work in very specificity. The, the,
Okay.
the gold is in specificity. Specificity, yes. Okay. So it would be, let's say you say, hey, Jean, I got this thing. I will work out why. We will work out why. And the why is sometimes, well, I don't have enough leads. Okay. So we're going to work on your leads with your mindset because they're both going to sort of fix each other at the same time. But
Mm,
getting somebody in a void and fixing their mindset does not work because the
right.
mindset is, because they're not getting clients, that's affecting their confidence. Whoa, okay, so we're going to help the confidence while we're fixing the concrete reason why that's happening in the first place. Because trust me on this, when people's businesses are working and they're just like raking in wonderful clients or selling a lot, they're pretty, usually their mindset's pretty darn good.
Mhm.
It's
That's true.
usually related to their success because we all, high performers, all greatly attach their self-worth, their mindset, their moods to how successful they are that day. I've seen
That
it time and again.
that's a good.
Now, of course, I'm coaching them to disassociate that as well, to,
Mm,
to fix it, but also there's the coaching on you're not your business and we want to make you happy no matter what. So there is a thing about getting past that and a slight, somewhat of a detachment that they're whole no matter what, and to get them And I have actually a training that deletes all anxiety, pain, and ickiness in a few minutes. So people get to a point of wholeness no matter what, no matter what's going on, because that's not a way to live, actually. So we can
Okay.
fix that. We can fix that, but then I want to deeply fix that. Then, okay, now, what if you do have a bad day? I want to have you be happy no matter what and be fulfilled no matter what. So that is a deeper mindset coaching that goes with that.
Okay. You often speak about beyond mindset. Can you
Mhm.
elaborate on the concept and how it has played a role in your personal and professional growth?
That's what I'm talking about. Beyond mindset is that you want to get your mindset good no matter what. And beyond mindset is not just a mindset fix. It's
Hmm.
not a band-aid. And also beyond mindset is this, that you are worthy and ready no matter what because of who you really are. And who you really are is not, I was successful today as a father or a mother or a business person because I made money. It is the beyond mindset. I just got goosebumps. Is that you, the essence of who you are is pure love. That's
Mm.
beyond mindset. That got a little woo woo for some people here, but I
Mm.
stand by that. That no matter what, you're valuable because of who you are. When you were a baby, you looked very different. You didn't know what you know now. You weren't developed like you know you are now. You're the same person because it's your essence, and who you are is pure love, same as when you were first born. So if you look in that, or you could change your name, you're still you. Women get married, change their name. They're not a different person, they're the same person. So the beyond mindset is getting people to a point of self-love because they are pure love and pure spirit. And that is who you really are. When you get to that beyond mindset, it changes your whole life and how you look at things and how it's, wow, that's true. I'm not worthy because I got clients today. I'm worthy and ready because of who I really am. My essence will not change because we
Hmm.
are all worthy. Now, that's hard for a lot of people to embrace from our upbringing, that's all about, well, I got a medal, I get a pat on the back, therefore I'm worthy, and my parents clap for me, right?
Right. How do your clients uh, react to that whole mind beyond mindset training and shifting?
Oh, they love it because it's not like it's just sort of the medicines in the meat. So I
Mhm.
don't sell that. They're getting help, we're getting clients, mindset, of course, sales, content, and that's being inserted, plus leadership, because I'm a servant leader. That's just being inserted in there as we go. So it's not like now we're doing our beyond mindset. It's just in there. And when they start doing the self-healing and different stuff, it's integrated. They're like, wow, but it's not like separate. It's all integrated. I talk about integration a lot as well. It's not separate, nothing's separate. It's all integrated. So we're not
Yeah.
going to pull that out. Yeah.
So does that play into when we first started our conversation and you told me about how you started and you were just being raw and you were just being you on social
Mhm.
media? Does that sort of tie into this beyond mindset that once you sort of accept who you are and you learn more about yourself and you become more raw, then you're also sharing more
Yeah,
authentically?
actually funny. I just sort of did that. Later on, I realized what that was. And I've done a lot of different mindset trainings with a lot of different mindset coaches. I like, you name it.
Right.
I know the mindset trainings and I love it. So I've sort of created an amalgam. But yes, see, when you realize that you're worthy, no
Hmm.
matter what, your life changes. When you're worthy, and it doesn't matter what people think of you on, I never cared what
Mm.
people thought of me on social media.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I never cared because I couldn't care. I was in a situation of being a single mom on a mission to feed my children. There was no room for that ego. That's
Right.
ego. I had no ego. It was, I got to make this work and I'm just going to go make it work. Head down, row the boat. Shut up and row. You know that saying? I I shut up and I rowed. Okay.
Right, right.
And it was like, what? Why would I care what people think? A person on social media is sitting behind, their computer somewhere in the world disapproved of me. Do you think that bothers me?
I guess it doesn't bother you. You seem very strong
Doesn't
about
bother
it.
me at all. Why would it bother me? It shouldn't bother you.
Yeah.
Some random person doesn't approve of you. You shouldn't even care what other people. Only person that needs to approve of you is yourself.
Mhm.
If you're doing the right thing in life and you're not spamming people, scamming, stealing, lying, cheating, then you should be good with yourself. because I wake up in the morning with a clear conscience every single morning because I don't do any of that stuff. I love myself, and don't have that weird feeling about my business that a lot of people do because their marketing's not true. It's just that. See, I don't do that stuff. My marketing is exactly what I say you get. And people come into my program and they go, wow, this is not only what I said I would get, it's more. I'm like, great. Nobody's ever come in and said, you didn't give me what I asked for. It's never happened. Because why would I do that? That's not moral. It's not ethical.
Mm.
So there's also the leadership of stop doing what other people are doing, because those people are getting in trouble now. The FTC is closing down businesses for false advertising. That's why I've never done spammy ads. I'm like, I'm not going to do something that's not true. So I've had people try to do ads for me. I said, we're not saying that. This is not true. We will not say that. We'll get more views. I don't care. I am whole, I am unique, and I am true. And that is how my marketing is going to be. So when you operate at this high level of doing exactly what you say you're going to do, why is there any reason to hide?
I mean, that's a good point. I don't think people think about that.
Yeah, they don't. Because what they're doing is they're just like living in fear. They're not valuing, and I say this with love, by the way, because I had very low self-worth for a long time. So I say this with love. And, do I have high self-worth every single day? Maybe not, but it's not deeply not high self-worth. It's just because I didn't sleep well or I had a problem. But it's not like, oh my gosh, I hate myself, I hate my life. No, I used to think that, actually, I'll be honest. So it's like, no, I'm worthy. I do a good job. Helped hundreds of people. They've been grateful. There's evidence of that. I have 2 kids. I'm doing a good job with that. I'm honest. So why would I have a problem with myself? There's no reason except for me fabricating stuff, and we fabricate problems for ourselves. So that's where it comes in. Folks, stop fabricating problems with yourself. Stop caring about random people. Care about the people that are going to resonate. Not everybody likes my message. They don't like that I'm not sugarcoating stuff sometimes. Some people don't like that.
Yeah.
Those people, they can be repelled by me. I'm okay with that. Because I want my people. The In Excess song, You're One of My Kind?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want one of my kind. We one of my kind. I want those. I got a client like that today, and I said to him, yeah, you're one of my kind. Took action immediately. So it's really about what do you want in your life? And if you want that, get over these petty things, because it's wasting your time. That's keeping you stuck, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what sweater, what I'm wearing today. Nobody cares about whether I'm wearing makeup or not. Nobody cares. They just care. Can this person help me, and how? And I'm going to explore that, and then I'm going to make a decision. That's all they care about. Really. Now, there's some people that maybe care about this branding and the girls wearing those fashion stuff. My people don't care about that.
Yeah.
That's not my market. My market is, she's going to help me. How? What's the investment? Is it a good investment? Will it work? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
So you emphasize the importance of impact and legacy. Why is that important?
Well, that's super important to me, because now I've gone further, and I'm figuring out my world purpose. Okay. And I'm working with Peter Diamandis on this, A360. Don't know if you know that. So that's the next thing is, okay, now I'm helping these coaches. Now, how do I help more people? And that's been on the back burner for a while. I actually got a not-for-profit going that was doing nothing. And I got a website called Impact Driven, which hasn't been doing anything. So I'm ready now to have a more bigger impact on helping more people thrive who aren't just coaches or just business people. I want to help people thrive, because I am emotionally connected to helping people thrive and make money, because I have known a lot of poverty in my life, self-inflicted poverty, I might say, but still poverty. So that's not fun. So I wish, and I'm finding out a way to help more people to thrive.
So we're running out of time, and I want to ask you one last question before we close up. What advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur or founder looking to scale their business?
Okay, I would say cut out the word aspiring altogether from your dictionary. Aspiring means that you're got training wheels. Cut out the word aspiring and just do it. Then you're no longer aspiring. You are a person scaling your business. That's the first thing. That's a tentative word. Tentative words, I don't like them because it's building in filler till you actually take action. So if you're aspiring, stop being aspiring and go do it. And understand nothing happens without taking action. And I would take massive, messy action first, get your foot in the door. And then later on, the massive action won't be so messy. It'll be more orderly, but it has to be a bit of mess. And you got to be willing to roll around in the mud and, be, scrappy. Nobody wants to be scrappy. All successful business people have been scrappy, and you got to just be okay. I feel like I was rolling around in the mud when I first started, like with mud on my face. That's how scrappy it was. Not comfortable. It's not at all dignified when you're just, doing stuff. So I would say, don't be aspiring anymore. Go do it. Find help. Also, get help to collapse time. If you don't know how to do something and somebody's done it, go hire that person. It's not going to be, nobody gives away the gold for free. That's worth money. Invest in your businesses. That's my strong advice.
I love that because I have a couple startups and I'm very scrappy and I'm just like I go out. Sometimes I'm like a dog with a bone. So I love that advice. And thank you so much. I know we've run out of time. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us your perspective and your story and your advice. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. You've been a really good host. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Jan, thank you for sharing your insights, experiences, and your unwavering spirit with us today. Your story is a reminder that success is attainable, but it requires hard work, resilience, and a refusal to give up. To our listeners, I hope today's episode has inspired you. Remember, the future belongs to those who embrace change and innovation with tenacity. Keep striving, keep innovating, and most importantly, stay tenacious in your pursuits. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to bringing you more inspiring conversations in our upcoming episodes. This is Sonia signing off, but always remember to chase your dreams with tenacity.